So Nat, when you decided to play defender, did you ever think you'd be such a prolific goal scorer?
I don't know if I'd call myself a prolific goal scorer, but you know, definitely when you get opportunities in the box, you got to finish them. And our jobs as defenders, definitely on set pieces, are to get our head on a few for sure.
What were your emotions after you scored that goal? I seemed a bit emotional talking to the TV broadcast after the game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of two ends of the spectrum. You know, gutted for RSL. You know, they lose in the last minute. You know, in a game where they played quite well, and elated for us because you know we definitely needed those points and you know put us in a very good position for the playoffs.
How do you separate those two things? Obviously, how much you respected that organization and the time you spent there, with also being a competitor and knowing that those were really important points for your current team.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's kill or be killed in this business, and you have to, you know, put the emotions, the friendships aside, you know, during the game. But sometimes they kind of, you know, they just come out, you know, and you just don't expect it. But you know, for sure, for me, one of the more emotional games of my career, and quite honestly, happy it's done.
Now you guys are heading home, and that's a place that you've been playing well recently. How important is it to continue that form against Houston Friday?
This is massive. This is the biggest game of the year for us. Just definitely given our position, their position. You know, if we can get 3 points against them, it puts us again in a good situation for the playoffs.
Now, with how efficient you guys have been defensively, kind of using the counterattack, has that been a specific change in what Caleb's asked of you guys in the last couple of weeks?
You know, I think you play, you know, how with what other teams give you, and I think that a lot of teams have been very aggressive, you know, against us and pushed us in our own third of the field sometimes. So sometimes we do have to bunker in and play with our back six a little bit, and just make sure we don't give anything up. And then the other side of that is we've got some really talented guys going forward, so we do get opportunities to counterattack. But obviously the last 2 or 3 games have been on the road, and you're going to have to be in situations like that.
And then specifically the first half, you guys were under quite a bit of pressure. Adam was big for you guys again. How big has he been during this kind of good defensive stretch?
Yeah, for me, you know, he's been, you know, one of our best, if not our best, defensive players, just because, you know, he plays with such a calm, you know, and veteran presence, and he makes massive saves. You know, the save against Luke Mulholland was just world class. So I think we're fortunate to have him back there, and he's been a big part of why we've been so good recently and during the season defensively.
This part of the season, when every game is huge, is this kind of the fun part of the year when, you know, just everything is on the line like this?
Every part of the year is fun for sure, but I mean, definitely you're looking at this final stretch and you're thinking, okay, you know, if we don't put our best foot forward, if we're not hungry, you know, we could potentially not make the playoffs. So we have to continue to be hungry, and we have to continue to push and just claw and fight and scrap for every point we can get.
You're in a sort of stretch right now where you're just playing game after game against teams that are right around you in the standings. Does that, like, how much extra intensity does that sort of add to things?
It adds a lot. Definitely, given the parity we have right now and the quality teams that are in the Western Conference, every single game, every single play can be the difference, you know, in winning and losing. And you know, I think we're all aware of that. And I think the good thing about this group is we've been through already some really tight games, some tough situations throughout the year. So we've dealt with adversity, and we know what that's like. So going into this stretch, we're very prepared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.